Hi everyone, welcome to 2secondswatch.com, and this is our latest unboxing, a unboxing and also review of the Oris Diver 65 reissue edition. So what I try to do today is to give you an honest overview of the watch and also what it is, and possibly if it can be a watch in your collection, and my personal opinions and thoughts on this. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is the watch box. Let me show you how it looks like. It's a very simple, down-to-earth Oris gray box. Let's open it up. It's a wonderful packaging, honestly, for a watch of this kind, by Oris. You can have a look over here. All right, we have the warranty card, the serials, the date of purchase, reference code. So this was bought in 2021, a fairly new watch. Okay, this is what it comes with as well. Something about the warranty, anything here, and of course the product manual. Okay, I mean, honestly speaking, this is a very good packaging for what it is. And you can see how to set the crown, as this is a screw down crown, the movement, the international service centers, all the information that you want to know is here. It's a fairly simple packaging, but very well made and very nice. It's even got the Oris embossing here. Oh yeah, wristwatch check. I'm having a Stratton Curve Chrono over here. It's a beautiful watch. You can check them out. Stratton Watch, you can Google them. They make really good micro brand watches. So this is a shout out to Carl. He's the designer and also he's the owner of this watch brand over here. Okay, you can check out their watches as well. So let's go on to the Oris watch over here. So we have, there we go. That's how the watch looks like. Let's have a look. And over here, so this watch comes on the nylon strap. Okay, a beautiful nylon strap, and pretty much this is the whole set. Nothing much, pretty bare bones, but at the same time, it is very well made. Cushion here, and this looks like a very nice watch box. You can keep your watch in if you like that kind of thing. If not, you can always keep it in one of your boxes. But it's really well made, and the good thing about these kind of watch boxes like these, which are simple, okay, they won't subject to some of the problems with some of the Omega watches, where they actually they have the fox leather or the fabric, and they start tearing, and over time they start degrading, which is not very nice, especially with the older watch if you keep it on. And I've had Omega watches as well, and we find that no matter how well you take care of the boxes, right, they, especially the red color box, they always seem to deteriorate over time, and you can't help it, especially in a tropical weather. But in any case, let's have a look at this. So I do prefer watch boxes like these, which are simple, with a cardboard kind of feel. As long as you don't get them wet, okay, I think they will be very long lasting indeed. Yeah. So this is the watch. Let's put it here so you have a look at it, and of course you can see it has a beautiful dial. So let's talk about this watch a bit. Okay, so this is the Oris Diver 65, and it is the reissue edition. As you've seen in the warranty card, this is a watch from 2021, but I believe this watch came out in maybe after 2015, 2018. It was a very popular watch when it was reissued. In fact, this watch is no longer in production. If you check out the Oris website, you will find it's no longer in production at all, because they've replaced it. They have the same case and everything, but for some reason, which is what I find special about the original Oris Diver 65 reissue, was these numerals and the way this is made. So what happened with the new watch now, which is still in production, they have removed and changed the indices. Okay, I will try to show you a picture here, so you can have a look at it. and that's how it looks like now. So it's totally different. You've got the same case, very similar case. I think it's the same case size, but you know, it's totally different in a way. Okay, so you don't have that kind of feel that you do with this 12, 9, 3, and 6, which I think is an excellent design. So let's talk about the watch. Let's look a bit. So it comes with a like a nylon kind of strap here, wonderful and beautiful buckle that you can see here, and it has a very unobtrusive date window. Of course, the original and the first version that came out was an all black dial. So it was an all black dial, and therefore the date wheel actually matches the black as well. So this is the one of the variation models that is not the original one. The original, which this is based on, it has a black dial, and this one actually has a two-tone here. So you can see like a bluish gray color and a, you know, a gray kind of dial color right here right now. So it looks a little more modern, and at the same time it gives a different vibe to it compared to the black one. So where the black one looks very vintage, this one looks like something in between, which still, you know, gives off a very good feel. So let's bring up so you can have a look at the watch here. And yes, I have a watch cloth here for perfect. The reason is so that we can just clean it up and you can see the watch. So let's look at how the watch is. So you get this wonderful distortion, okay, on, if you can see it from the video, okay, you can see this. Let me try to get it in focus. You can see this wonderful dome sapphire. Okay, it's actually sapphire, it's not mineral glass, so it's really, really strong and it's pretty scratch resistant. But look at the beautiful dome. And with the beautiful dome, if you look closely here, okay, I'll zoom in for you a bit so you can have a look at here. You see how the distortion and the light play on the numerals? That is what's so special about this watch. And I believe the dial is also, I don't know if the dial is a little curved as well. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it gives you that kind of effect where it's sort of like, you know, sloping. Okay, but the whole unique perspective about this watch and what people love about this watch is the fact that you get this distortion at the outer numerals. So when you have this distortion at the outer numerals over here, let me put it in focus, the outer numerals over here, you really, you see how it cuts off? You get to see that kind of feeling. And when you look at the watch, you get this feel as you turn it around, the play with the light. It's really, really addictive and very, very nice, especially if you like the vintage style watches. Yeah. So let me take it out so we can look at it a bit closer. Okay, so it's in wonderful, excellent condition. You can see from here. Try to just clean this up. Okay, so it's a screw down crown. It's a screw down crown watch, and it's high polish on one side. You get a bit of this, you know, beveling over here, and you get a brush finish on this part here, here, and here. So you got this crown which is high polish. And you got a wonderful Oris over there. Okay, I'll try to zoom it in for you so you can see it. But it's written Oris over here. And on the back, the case back, just a very simple case back. Okay, over here you can see the case back. It says, you know, water resistant, 100 meters, front sapphire crystal, all stainless steel, and just high polish on the back. Okay, so very, very straightforward. So you got this part here, the lugs here, okay? And if we can bring it over here, you can see how the lugs end. Lugs end as well. Yeah. Let's have a zoom in. So it's really wonderful and quite a good finishing for the price range that it is when this was sold, and also at the price it is now. So let's have a look at the bezel. Obviously, it's a unidirectional bezel. The bezel clicks fairly well. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it over here. It's very, very nice. There is some, I mean, of course, we are talking about a watch that is not as expensive and high-end as, you know, different price range from those from Tudor, for example, the Tudor or probably Rolex watches. You can't really compare them, but fairly okay. If you look at this, there is some wobble on it, okay, but it's not that significant. Okay, it does stay in position and it lines up very well at the numerals there, and of course there's a bit of lume here as well. Yeah, so it sounds really nice. Okay, and yeah, so let's have a look what happens when I unscrew it. Okay, so I think this one's an Oris cylinder movement, which is based on the ETA movement. So they're very standard movements, but of course, tuned by Oris, and also, probably with some modifications. They're not the highest grade movements, but they work. And with the screw down crown, you can see it's 100-meter water resistance. So let's have a look at the crown over here. So this is how you can wind it. Okay, very smooth winding, pretty nice. Okay, you get this very nice smooth winding, and of course hacking as well. Okay, you can hack it as well, hacking seconds, and let's see how the date changes. Okay, let's see. Oh, so that it doesn't obscure it. So let's have a look at the date change as well. Let's see how the date changes. So I like dive watches which have this fairly unobtrusive date window, because everyone complains about date window, right? So there you go. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's fairly good nonetheless. Okay, and the screw down crown as well, hacking seconds. Of course, when you do adjust it, with these, one of the things about these kind of watches, but it's not because of Oris' fault in any way. You do have a bit of a wobble here. I mean, of course, for this price range, this is to be expected, but it's still pretty solid, it's strong. As long as you don't push it very hard while you're setting the time, it should be fine. And if you're wearing it as a daily, when you screw it in, it's perfectly fine. But of course, if you compare this with like Rolex, for example, the Rolex Yachtmaster, you won't get this kind of feeling. Okay, but then again, how much more expensive that is. So it screws down very well as well. Okay, and there you go. So I think one of the unique features about this watch, which I haven't covered yet, we want to talk about, is this aluminum bezel. It's fairly easy to grip. Okay, with the lume tip over here, it's fairly easy to grip, and you've got this feeling where it's also very easy to read, especially. You can use it for timing, things with the timing bezel, and you can really see how much time has elapsed as well. So yeah, it's a nice watch to collection. It's not very thick. I like watches that are not very thick. Okay, of course this is not ISO certified in any way. Okay, it is a retro heritage kind of reissue, but 100 meters, seriously, it's more than enough. And if you're doing like swimming, going to the beach and things like that, this is way more than enough than what you need. 100-meter water resistant. So yeah, and I like watches, especially dive watches, or this type of swimming recreational dive kind of watches. I like that it's not very thick. Okay, I don't really, of course, if you have a sapphire case back, it's not too bad, but really, watches should wear very well, and they should not wear thick. I think that's what's special about this watch, is the way it wears. I'm going to show it to you on my 6-inch wrist to show you how the impact is and how it sits very flat and very nicely as well, even though it is a 42 millimeter watch, I believe. Yeah, so let me give you the specifications. Yeah, you can of course find out the specifications on our website. I'll put it on the screen over here, but it's 42 mm for the dial and the case size, I believe. Okay, let's just line this up first. Okay, and I think the thickness probably about 12 millimeters, can't be more than that. Lug to lap also has a very healthy range. It doesn't have that big overhang. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the strap as well. Let's have a look at the strap. So this is a nylon strap, but it's not just your cheap nylon strap. It's very thick, as you can see. It looks like, if you look carefully, it looks like it's here you go, you can probably see it. It's like two type of nylons being stitched together very strongly. And of course the strap here, if you look carefully here, you can also see that it's also heated, so that you probably won't have that kind of fraying. It has some wear on this, but you don't see the fray that you do on nylon straps, and I think that's what is nice about this Oris nylon strap as well. So you got a wonderful buckle over here. Okay, so this is the original Oris nylon strap. Of course, You can always swap this out easily. It's a 20 millimeter lug width, I believe. You can always swap it out fairly easily. Okay, fairly easily, and change it to a tropical strap or something else like this. Yeah. So yeah, so let's have a look at how it looks like on wrist. So you can see over here, even on a 6-inch wrist, I mean, this wears wonderfully. If you have a slimmer wrist, this will you will be able to pull this off very well. Let me try to give a further shot for you to have a look at it. So you can see, look how well it wears, how nice it wears, and how well it wears. And you can see, there isn't that overhang that you see with some of these dive watches, especially when those are too very, very thick. So this one doesn't have that feeling, and you see the way that they design this, how the shape goes like this, and it does matter on the wearability, and that's what I really, really like about it. Okay, of course, I think honestly, this type of watch would look better, and it will be more practical on a tropic strap. So that a tropical kind of strap, a rubber tropical strap. You can get the original Oris one. You can get an aftermarket one as well. We sell them on our website. You can always check it out, and that will give you a kind of different look. And of course, when it's wet as well, it's also very easy to take care and maintain. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Let's talk a bit about the things I like about this watch. Okay, so it has to be the whole proportion of this. The fact that it's a very unique design. I don't like the new Oris Diver 65. I find that the new Oris Diver 65 without these numerals have sort of lost its uniqueness, in the dive watch. It just becomes something more normal, something you can find from other brands as well. And by the way, these are all loomed. I'm going to show you a picture of a loom shot here, just so you can see, because this is in bright daylight. But all these are loomed, including the indices, the seconds hands, and this part here. So it does have that kind of very, very nice design. And I like how, how some dive watches, like for example, the Tudor, for example, you see it in the Pelagos, you see it in some of the black base, the new black base, where there's so much line of text at the bottom to tell you how the chronometer is certified. I think this is just the right amount of text. Okay. And you see there's that bit of an empty space in the middle, so it pulls your eye out towards the dial. So it looks really nice and very unique, but at the same time, you have this big spacious negative space that gives it a kind of impact and punch. So if it's on the wrist, and you're walking around, it's really easy to read, and also it's a kind of watch that people say, hey, looks interesting, and it's not your usual kind of watch. And if you like something that's more unique, more interesting, a dive piece that can stand the test of time, and if you like watches that has a bit of the heritage feel, you're gonna like the Oris Diver 65. So you can find this on sale on our watch shop as well, 2secondswatch.com. And of course, let's talk about what I don't like so much about this watch. I think it's not so much I don't like about this watch, but the fact that this strap, I would prefer a tropical strap, but that's easily rectified. But other than that, they could also put on and improve the movement. I know that the newer Oris watches have much better movements. They're starting to launch in-house movements. But like I said before in some of my reviews, in-house movements are not everything. It doesn't make it better. Okay, it doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it more accurate. It does make it, however, sometimes they do improve the power reserve. That's a good thing. But for in-house movement watches, here's a problem: the servicing costs. Okay, we don't talk about it, but you should talk about it. It means that it's going to be harder for any watchmaker service. If you have a watch like this, any watchmaker can service this. It's fairly easy for you to service this. You don't have to send it back to original Oris 80. You can send it to any watchmaker because it's just a little ETA movement. Everyone can fix it, And sometimes when you have a watch like this in the collection, if you have a dress watch or a chronograph already, this is a very easy addition to your collection. So you can add it in. You can add this into your collection, and it can be one of those pieces that you wear on and off for sports, or it can also be your go anywhere, do anything watch. We call them the Gada watches. Okay. So yeah, there you go. I think that's all I have to say about this watch. You know, I think that Oris should really continue to make these watches, especially with this dial. But anyway, that probably means that this watch will probably be more sought after in the future, because they have been discontinued, and they used to sell very, very well as well. And you can find many YouTube videos of the history and everything. There is a very good video on this, and by ID Guy, I think on YouTube as well. You can find out about the history of the Oris Diver 65, which I will not be covering here. Thanks for watching. Okay, of course, last but not least, I want to ask you for your support. If you like this kind of content, this kind of honest unboxing where you can have a look at the watch, where I'm not giving you too much fluff on it, too much editing, please subscribe. It really does help us. And also hit the notification bell icon so that you will get any notification of any new watch reviews or watch content that we come up from our channel, so that you can watch it as well. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a good day. You can find this watch on our website, 2secondswatch.com.